It's the James Cooley Show. It's your life. Dr. James JC Cooley. All right.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore them or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guests will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guest will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego.
Yeah. Dr. James J.C. Cooley. The James Cooley Show. It's your life. Yeah.
Hello, welcome to the James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and wow, we got an absolutely fantastic show coming your way today. We got this young man that's going to join us today, doing so many great things now, but he has done some magnificent things in the past, and he's a Navy guy. Yeah, he's a Navy guy, and to the highest level. And I tell you what, a lot of things that we learn in the Navy, especially when it comes to leadership, we hope to carry those things off with us, even when we depart from the Navy, because we are still leaders, and we still have to encourage, and we still have to make sure that our future generations are well equipped to be able to take that torch and run with it and lead. But we're going to talk a whole lot more about that. How you doing, Dr. Cooley? How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, James. How are you doing?
I'm ecstatic. I'm in awe, and I'm doing absolutely fantastic. And I got my buddy here that's going to talk about a whole lot of things. So I tell you what, Michelle, can you do the honors? But let me tell you, whichever platform that you're watching us on, if you want to be part of this great discussion, Was it E360 Television, Transfer TV, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Rumble, and over 85 other platforms. Welcome to the show. If you want to be part of this, just go to the comments on the platform that you're watching us on. Ask any question that you might have. I promise you, we'll get you an answer. Michelle, can you do the honors by introducing the title of the show, purpose of the show, and introduce this absolutely wonderful guest?
Most definitely. So the title of today's show is Why People Leave Before Performance Fails. And we're having a sit-down conversation with Raymond D. Kemp Sr. He is a military veteran, a global speaker, leadership navigator, team trainer, founder, president of Kemp Solutions, LLC. He's going to talk about what this title really means, leading before performance fails, missing the warning signs. What should we be paying attention to, especially leadership and leadership development beyond the workplace? So again, Raymond D. Kemp Sr., he's the founder of Kemp Solutions, where he helps organizations reduce attrition, build resilience, and strengthen loyalty by addressing the people issues that surface before performance fails. He advises executives and senior teams on leadership, culture, and trust in complex environments. Earlier in his career, he served as a U.S. Navy Fleet Master Chief, where he was a senior advisor responsible for the readiness, morale, and leadership culture of more than 56,000 personnel. That experience now informs his work, helping organizations create environments where people stay, teams perform, and impact extends beyond the workplace. Please welcome to the show for the very first time, Raymond D. Kemp Sr.
How you doing, Fleet?
Oh,
How you doing?
Motivated. What a pleasure it is to be here with you.
What a pleasure it is to have you here, man. For people out there that don't know what a Fleet Master Chief is, Fleet Master Chief Kemp was in charge of the whole, was that 5th Fleet, 6th Fleet?
It was, so it's 6th Fleet and a little bit of 5th Fleet, the continent of Europe, continent of Africa, the water surrounding it.
Over all of the enlisted folks in that arena, including the aircraft carriers that enlisted everything, because everything must go through him, and he is informing SINPAC Fleet, all of the senior leadership. So
yeah, it's funny. The admiral used to tell the officers group, you and I know them as the wardroom. He used to say he's the Fleet Master Chief, period. Not just for one group. He's the Fleet Master. He's my Fleet Master Chief. And so what was humorous to me is, as I explained it to civilians, because they think there may be some separation there. And the true fact is that if we looked at a professional organization that had a chief human resource officer, a chief technical officer, and let's say a chief operations officer, and merge them into one person, Navy folks know that's what the Fleet Master Chief does. So in case your listeners didn't know, merging those three, executive members into one, and then being the one to tell the truth to the admiral when nobody else will.
yeah, because everybody is afraid that the admiral asked us something and said, "I want this done," and I don't know about you, but the captain would tell. He said, "You have to go and do. We have to do this, do that, do that." So, but sir, I don't understand exactly what. He said, "Well, admiral said it, so do it."
Figure it out.
Figure it out. And I always said, "Sir, if possible, can I talk to the admiral?" Sure. I mean,
And with relief, he would say yes, because you were going to ask a question that he was afraid
yes.
to.
So I go in there and ask the admiral, exactly what do you want us to do? And he said, "No, boom, 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 boom." Oh, got it.
Yeah, yeah.
But you had to do that every day.
I tell you what, when your battle buddy is a 4-star admiral or 3-star, 1-star in other cases, then you always have the inside scoop and the value that goes with having that inside scoop. I think goes both ways. One, I don't want to be a senior person with a secret, so I'm telling him or her all that I think is going to be valuable and suitable for the group, and then I'm telling everybody who's close enough to do something about it. Hey, Here's the real deal. This is exactly what the Admiral wants done. And if you want, I'm not Martha Stewart, so I'm not giving insider trader information, but I'm giving them as much information as possible to stay within the rule set so that they can be successful.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, before we start this, can you tell our viewers and our listeners a little bit more about you, where you grew up,
Sure.
what made you click, and how did you embark on this great journey that, from E1 all the way to E9? I don't know if you went in as an E1, but
I did. I sure did. So the one thing that you didn't hear in the bio, and you may not find online, is that I was born in the great nation of Texas, raised in Oklahoma by one fierce angel. Raised up in a single mom household. My mom was amazing. I had 7 aunts who were setting expectations for me early. Grandmother, who told me once that you have the ability to pay attention to detail, and that's going to take you a long way. My mother told me as a boy growing up on the west side of Oklahoma, going to elementary school, and all just happened to be an all-white school. I mean, not the yard dude, not the trash folks, no teachers, just me. And my mother told me, you're as smart as any of them. You just have to apply yourself. And so, armed with those 2 things, I embarked on my journey. I'm a girl dad. I've got three daughters, super duper tough and amazing women. Stand on their own. They occupy, if I may, JC, they occupy the space in which they stand. And I have a son who lives down near New Orleans. And that is really what puts breath in my lungs, knowing that there is, I want to call them a legacy because they're my people. There are people who are relying on me to do my best. And my eldest daughter was born early in my career. And so the intentionality that goes with doing my best and being the best person that I could be while I did it was something that became very intimate to me. So to your point, I started the Navy as E1, came in as what affectionately would call a combat communicator. And then at a certain rank in the Navy, once you have made it to the rank of E9, then you have the option of coming into the command program. So when it's a command program, I had a guided missile destroyer, the heralded Harry S. Truman aircraft carrier. Then I became the Inspector General for the Navy, all sailor programs for all 335,000 of us. And then I was selected to be the first Black person chosen as the Fleet Master Chief of Navy Europe, Navy Africa.
Now, how long did it take you to make E9?
Made Master Chief in 23 years.
23?
Yeah, 23 years. I was selected and immediately selected into the command program.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I see a lot of your buddies, Leon.
Oh, my man, Leon. Okay, good. Hey, I'm going to tell you something. Leon Walker gave me the best advice I had throughout the senior portion of my career. And he told me that whenever I sat in meetings with the captain and later on with the admiral, whenever you sit in those meetings, always do your homework and always have something to say. And whenever I was called on, I was never surprised. So I appreciate Leon being dialed in, logged in, and a part of this because he's part of my life.
Oh, yeah. So we probably got about 2 minutes before the break, but always kind of throw a little wrench in the interview.
Let's go.
So if you can only choose one word to describe who you are, I'm talking about throughout your life, even up to today.
Okay.
What adjective would that be and why?
Adjective. I say steady because I'm the same person on camera, off camera, at work, at home. I am the same person all the way around. And so to create a space where people can rely on me has been something I've done very, very intentionally. So steady. And plus I rock steady. So steady would be the adjective that I'd use.
I tell you what, we're going to take a station break, but whichever platform that you're watching us on, if you want to be part of this great discussion, all you have to do is just go to that platform, go to the comments, ask any question that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
Oh, it's your life with Dr. James J.C. Cooley. That's right. It's Dr. James, J.C. Cooley. It's your life show. Yeah. Dr. James, J.C. Cooley.
The future is here.
Now is the time to pursue the greatness in you. Welcome to Viridian Christian University, where faith meets future. We are a fully accredited, 100% online Christian university. We offer bachelor's degree, master's and doctorate degree programs, built for students like you. Affordable tuitions, 30+ degree programs, 100% online and flexible, integrating faith with learning. Study from anywhere at your pace. At VCU, we do not just prepare you for a degree. We prepare you for purpose. Discover who you are, grow in faith, and build a future that impacts the world.
Are you ready to start your journey today?
Visit www.viridianchristianuniversity.com.
Apply today and be among the global leaders.
Really get a chance to know who you are. And once you know who you are, you truly know who you are, love who you are. Love who you are. You're a masterpiece. Love who you are. Love who you were born to be. Love me some me. That's what I'm talking about. When you leave high school, you gotta know today or tomorrow, or hopefully today, what your plans are. Hopefully, there is no bad decision unless there is no plan. Create, collaborate, commit with confidence. Commit with what? Commit with what? In everything that you do.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I tell you, I'm sitting here having this great discussion with my main man. I call him Fleet, Fleet Master Chief, and that's everybody don't get an opportunity to be a Fleet Master Chief. Everybody do not get an opportunity to be a Master Chief. Everybody do not get an opportunity to do a whole lot of things unless they put their heart and soul in everything that you do, from being in situations like poverty, not having certain things, and just not pitying yourself, just digging deep down inside. So there is some good in everything that I'm in right now. I just have to find the good. and learn from those things and continue to strive. My point is this man worked for everything that he endured and went through to make it all the way to the top and still doing great things. So, Ray, who inspired you to go into the Navy, or who inspired you? I mean, where did that portion of the journey come from?
Sure. So I joined the Navy at 17. My mother had to sign over permission for me to join. And the reason I joined, JC, is that my uncle was a Munford Point Marine, and he was very proud of his service. And I grew up on the east side of Oklahoma City, and so I knew that my mother had really high standards for education. So it was either get a job and get up out of here, or go to college and make your way on out of here. And so what I chose to do is take the ASVAB test. I scored well. The Navy recruiter was very intentional about reaching out to me, and he won the battle. So that's what got me into the Navy, because my mindset was, if I can make it into the Navy to the rank of E5, I could retire at 20 years, be 37 years old, and go home and get paid the rest of my life. So my plan was to make E5, and things worked out a little bit different than mine. Thank goodness that I didn't get just what I asked for.
Man, I tell you, that was my plan initially as well. If I can make E5, I can stay in.
Yeah.
But when you start feeling, once you get E5, you do it fast, right? And you start feeling, no.
Well, I think that once we figure, for some of us, once we get it figured out, then why would we leave? And there's an opportunity to impact hearts and minds. We do that as leaders. We understand the left, right, lateral limits of what it means to be in the Navy, following the plan of the day, and then we just take over. And so, no need in leaving when we get to the point where we're running it.
Oh man, you're absolutely right, man. And then once we get that taste of that leadership, it's I don't know about you, but it was instilled in me that I had to run everything.
I'll tell you what, I grew up in this portion of Oklahoma where we were taught and understood that you're given a gift to give to others. And so it was I was duly and truly prepared to serve, but it was my responsibility to serve and create a space for other people. And so getting it figured out, enjoying it, tasting that sweet elixir that some might describe as leadership and responsibilities that's successful, because leadership isn't about a title, it's about the success of others. And so that was it for me. I knew I was going to stay around.
Oh man.
Well, Raymond, let's talk about the title of today's show: Why People Leave Before Performance Fails. Yeah. Why did you want to discuss this specific topic today? And can you explain to the audience, what exactly does this mean?
Yes, and Dr. Michelle, it's certainly a pleasure to meet you and to be with you here on the show today. So thank you for asking that question and bringing us back to center, because we can talk about the Navy and leadership and stuff.
You and James will be talking about the military all day, but
the reason I thought it was important to talk about it today is because in our society there are companies that are having a really hard time getting people to stay. The attrition rate these days is through the ceiling, and so I believe it's very, very important to remind leaders that the metrics that you use to measure productivity are not the metrics that should be used, or not the things that we should be considering when we're looking to keep our performers within our organization. So the importance of talking to leaders and encouraging leaders to make the changes necessary to get their best people to stay is going to have an impact on the world. And that's why I started Kemp Solutions. I just wanted to, it's not a big deal, JC, I just want to impact the world from the workplace outward. And so think about it like this. People come in, and I know this is a long answer, Dr. Michelle, but please forgive me. Mm-hmm. When people get treated with dignity and respect in the workplace, they don't just hold on to that at work. They take that into their homes. They'll treat the people within their homes with that same measure of dignity and respect or even better, and then out into the community. And that's how we change the world. So I came on the show today to discuss this topic so we could change the world.
So the question is basically why do people leave before their performance fails? You're in a good company, you're making decent salary, comparable to the cost of living. You might be getting treated properly by your managers, companies, president, CEO, but there's always a reason why people leave. Based on your research and your study, what is the reason? What are the top reasons why people leave before their performance fails?
Sure. A couple of reasons that folks leave before their performance fails. It is important for us to consider what that really means. So when people check out intellectually, that is when you start seeing that performance fail. But before there is an intellectual checkout, it's oftentimes an emotional checkout. And so when our best performers get quiet, that's not a time for leaders to be confident. That's a time for leaders to get curious. And so when people don't feel that psychological safety that they have felt in the past in the workplace, that is one of the reasons that folks leave. And I would say the number one reason, what I would categorize as the number one reason that people leave is exactly that. They stop feeling safe and respected in the workplace, and they start their strategy. Now, before they leave the job, their passion for what it is that they do begins to wane. And that's what I'm talking about when I say they're leaving before their performance falls off. Because people might intellectually and emotionally check out and still continue to do the job because they have built the habit and the routine of doing their job. But what really happens is they're already got their head on a swivel looking for something else to do. And to your point, Michelle, when they have a good paycheck, they're being treated well. Those are the folks who it's most easy for them to leave because they have the financial resources to leave. Those who are not getting paid well, those who are paid below the median level, then those are the folks who end up unfortunately having to stay because they're living from check to check. Those folks who are in those comfortable positions, oftentimes white collar, but well paid, regardless of the profession, those are the ones who will leave intellectually and emotionally before they actually have a fall off in performance and leave the job.
I'm thinking also, today it's like people want to work remote. And sometimes, especially lately, companies are requiring them to come back into the office and work full time in the office, or maybe a hybrid setup. And then there's workers who are used to the remote comfortability at home, but their company is switching gears and say, "Oh, we want you in the office," but you get spoiled. And okay, I've been working remote for close to 10 years. I can't see myself going back into the office. Never say never. You do what you have to do. But is it just that maybe even though the company's treating you well, that, hey, I need something, even though you're checking out, that's more conducive to my lifestyle now from where I'm going?
Absolutely. And that's just a great point, Michelle. What has happened in the remote work environment is that there seems like there's always something else to do. And so the loyalty that we remember from days gone by when folks were going into the office. And I will admit, JC, I think that a lot of us romanticize what it used to be like. But when we consider having people coming into the workplace every day, you could see and detect that measure of resilience, and you could detect that measure of loyalty and the measure of compassion, passion for the work. But in the remote environment, you have to be even more considerate because people have become quiet. And you don't really understand what that quiet means unless you're intentionally digging after it. And a way to do that is to ask people why they stay rather than being so focused on why people are leaving. Because when you find out why people are staying, then you can turn up the volume on those things and increase those mechanisms and measures that get people to stay.
I think that a lot of this switching back to the brick and mortar, having people coming in, is politics. It's crazy because there is no reason to do that, because if you brick and mortar, that means you got people coming in the office, you're spending more money, you're paying more bills.
Right. And isn't that but isn't that the reason? The reason is, and it's, just kind of lean towards politics. If I'm watching your back and expecting you to watch mine, and I'm the one who is providing the electricity or the service that your building perhaps needs, whether it be taking out the trash or whether it means bringing in office furniture. Well, I need people there to make money doing that. And so if there's a, behind the enemy lines, type of a comment or an agreement made, then you'll have people come in because your buddy needs to make money, or perhaps you are invested in those things that create that monetary synergy when people are in the workplace. So you're right. And one more thing, I just wanted to kind of put a bow on what Michelle was mentioning. In the environment, in this environment that we're in now, the hybrid environment, people are hopping from job to job more and more, which is why it's so important. This topic is so important to pay attention to how the team members are behaving so that we can ensure that they stay.
Wow. We're going to take a station break, but we're going to come back and we're going to talk a lot more about this. And also, we're going to talk about what you're doing from a leadership perspective with the bosses. I'm talking about the people that are actually leading folks, so that they get an understanding of how their workers might feel, not just from a 10,000 feet perspective, because it doesn't affect everybody the same way. So I tell you, whichever platform you're watching this on, if you want to be part of this great conversation, all you have to do is just go to the comments and send the question that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
Are y'all ready? It's about that time for the It's Your Life show. Dr. James JC Cooley. That's right. It's your life. Cooley.
Welcome back. It's Your Life with Dr. James J.C. Cooley. I'm Dr. Michelle Cooley, and here we are with our guest today, Raymond D. Kemp Sr. And the title of today's show, just to remind the audience, is Why People Leave Before Performance Fails. Hey, if you want to be a part of the show, please write your comments, ask your questions, and we will put them on the board. And I don't know if we addressed this question before the break. Raymond, one of our viewers wants to know, what advice would you give for retaining young employees? I don't know if we got to that question.
Okay, yeah, that's a fabulous question. When it comes to retaining young folks, and I would say this, when I think of young people, and I mean no harm, when I say this, but when I'm talking about young people, my mind goes to the 35 and below. And I'm not going to label them, with categories and all those and letters and so forth. What I would say is when talking to folks who are 35 and below, especially if I'm seeking to retain them, I'm going to ask what it is that they care about. That is going to be one of the primary conversations I'm having. Just as I'm walking through the building or doing my Zoom calls or whichever space, whatever the touch point is, I'm asking, what is it that you care most about? It's probably my number one theme as I'm just bringing energy walking into the space. And then I'm going to ask those folks who are there, what makes them stay? So I'm of the belief that in the first 10 days, we can create that space of loyalty and retention. We can cut back the attrition rate in our organizations significantly in the first 10 days by doing just a few things. A few of those are ensuring that there is someone there that they know. So when you hire somebody on, ensuring that there's a sponsor there. When you hire or bring a new person onto your team, they have a mentor, someone who has been there that can show them the ropes and how things are going along. And then the onboarding program, I'll just give you 3 of the 10. The onboarding program is also a very important place for us to take stock in the new team members that are coming in and ensure that they understand the things that are important to us. Knowing the why of the organization is very important, but knowing the why of their particular job is an absolute force multiplier. And so when it comes to those folks, 35 and below, one of the number one things I'm going to do is express a measure of care, ask those things that they care about. And then probably the third and tantamount to all the other 2 is what is it that made the employees who have been there for a while, what made them stay to ensure that we're still doing those things?
Yes. It's interesting. A comment about the younger employees. It just seems like the young people today are more interested, which is a great thing in becoming entrepreneurs, having something on the side, unlike the older generation where they just worked for a company for years until it was time to retire. But the young people, they want to do their own startup company or buddy with their friends. So there's definitely a difference in the mentality of each generation. And I'm going to segue into your company, Kemp Solutions, and tell us about what Kemp Solutions does, and has Kemp Solutions, their research and what you do, has it found the whys behind why younger people, older people just leave, period?
Well, I think when it comes, and thank you for that question. When it comes down to folks leaving, I just want to put one more knot on that. One of the reasons that folks are leaving, and it seems as if they're more creative and industrious and looking to step out and do entrepreneurial things, is because that World Wide Web has created a space of communication and information that we just didn't have. I mean, I was born in the 60s, raised in the 70s, and I didn't know what it meant to be an entrepreneur. I didn't know how easily, or I didn't know to start a company that would have the opportunity to take off the way these internet influencer millionaires are. And so because I didn't know, that created a space or a bit of a disparity between them and my children, for example, who are 33 years and below. And so for them, the opportunity to go from job to job and to allow that entrepreneurial spirit to light off is something that organizations and companies are I want to say fighting against. I guess from one perspective, they're encouraging that within their company because people want to feel as if the company cares about them. And so there's some organizations that are encouraging that as well, that side hustle, as they call it. They're encouraging that while at the same time ensuring, that we're treating them right in the workplace. What Kemp Solutions does is we help companies who are looking to fight attrition, build resilience and loyalty within their organization. The way we do that is through keynote speaking, through leadership development or training, and also through senior executive coaching.
Wow. So what are the warning signs that people are ready to check out, even if their performance is not failing? And what should leadership be looking for?
We were talking about this earlier off camera, and that is when people get quiet, that's not, no matter what the level of performance is, when people get quiet, that's not time of celebration. That is time for curiosity to kick in. Why is, I need to scoot into you, get a little closer, find out why is it that you're not as outwardly bringing innovative ideas as you did before. What's going on there? And knowing the team, and whether it's hybrid or whether it's fully remote or whether they're in the workplace, this is what leaders do. Leaders close the distance with their team members and get to know what it is that allows them to be the most productive. And when that wanes, when that begins to fall off, then they know where to adjust their approach. And it's extremely important that we don't lose sight of that because we're working remote or in hybrid situations. Leaders need to lead no matter what.
Wow. Tammy Kemp mentioned in a post here, I worked remote for over 7 years, took a different position, had to come back in the office full time. I realized that I needed the interactions with other people. And, I personally, as a remote employee, I do miss the interactions, stopping by someone's cubicle, going to lunch, it is not the same. But at this point in my life, I'm good. But it really depends what you're looking for. Some people do need the interaction, which is great. Some people don't.
There are some people, Dr. Michelle, who, and sorry for interrupting you, but there are some people who are introverts, and it is a cost of energy that goes with interacting with other people. And then there are some who are extroverts who get energy from people, no matter what. Both groups, both types of people. We're tribal beings, and so usually some measure, whether it's a 6-8 hour day or whether it's in a Zoom call, we feed off of the energy that we get from the community. And so to Tammy and to others who have made their way back into the workplace, or those who may be working remote, I would imagine that there is some place that they're getting that social interaction.
Wow. So Raymond, how do you help leaders within the companies that you work with develop the self-awareness they need to notice their own impact on their employees? And maybe that is a contributor to why they leave.
Sure. So one of my favorite tools, Dr. Michelle, one of my favorite tools to use is the YOS discovery. That's Y.OS, which stands for operating system, to help people understand their why, their how, and their what. I'm gonna tell you, it opens up a whole new world. Because what will happen is not only will we help them discover their why, how, and what, we'll give them a simple statement. So, for example, my why in life is to find a better way. So success to me happens when I'm able to find a better way and share it with other people. How I do that is by challenging the status quo and traditional thinking. What I bring to every relationship, whether it be organizational or whether it be to an individual, is a contribution to make that person better. Another way to say it is, I'll just remind you of a phrase that a rising tide floats all boats. Well, I'm the tide. And so when I can help a leader get that measure of understanding of who they are, because imagine being in the Navy, there's very tight rules But to be someone who success happens when I'm able to find a better way and share it, that's not necessarily something that's looked highly upon. And so I would subdue who I really am to be lesser than who I could be if I understand the language of being a better way person. So when I help leaders get that measure of understanding of themselves, then we can move beyond the golden rule, which would be to treat people the way you want to be treated, and come into the platinum rule, which is to treat people the way they want to be treated.
Hold that thought. We got to take a station break. But he's preaching over here, Michelle. I mean, but all of that you just said is so true. And when we get back, I just want to intervene a little bit on the why.
Sure.
When we get back, and I tell you what, I know you all enjoying this conversation. I'm looking at the numbers. So I see a lot of folks watching, but we could have more than that. And also, come on, we got a whole other segment. If you want to be part of this conversation, all you have to do is just go to the platform that you're watching us on. Ask any question that you might have. I promise you, we will get you an answer because it's your life. And we'll see you shortly after the break.
Come on, everybody. It's your life show with Dr. James J.C. Cooley. That's right. It's your life. Hey, it's your life with Dr. James J.C. Cooley. That's right. It's Dr. James J.C. Cooley. It's your life show. Dr. James J.C. Cooley.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I tell you, I have to do this right now because this man right here is on point. Fleet, I would love for you to come back on the show if your schedule permit.
Oh, it's done. It's a done deal. I can't wait to come back. I can't wait. I can't wait to come
Oh
back.
yeah, oh yeah. I mean, you just came, you laid it out, and this is not only do people that are working, but leaders out there need to understand. There's a certain way that you treat your people. There's a certain way you have to show them you care. I had Admiral Mazzini on the show about 3 weeks ago, and he just laid it out. It's not all about the person that's at the top. It's about the people that are working for you. They really lead you. You just provide directions and show them how to do it. And a lot of times you have to break it off in the management because they don't know. They're just looking for a bottom line product.
Right. That's right. Yeah, that's why they need Kemp Solutions come in, is so that we can get at not just at the C-suite, but also at that managerial level. Because to your point, and the Admiral's a great man, great leader, a known good aircraft carrier guy and everything.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
The thing about getting to that middle management, see, I would say that there is culture and climate. Now, culture is the stuff we got on T-shirts and coffee mugs. You know, I think it was Ford who said quality is job one. That's the culture. But the climate, JC, is that feeling that people get when their tires hit that bumper stop, you know, in the parking lot, when they grab the handle to the door walking in and they begin to think about the first interaction with that person, whether it be an employee or whether it be a customer. That first interaction that they have, that is what the climate is. Managers ought to be in touch very closely with those frontline leaders to ensure that the climate matches the culture. And that oftentimes is the difference between fast learning, high operating organizations and others.
You know, I looked at the website, your page, man, you're doing great things. What can we do more to attract? Because you're a proven leader. And I mean, you got years and years at the highest level of leadership. I'm talking about even from the middle management perspective, right below the captain and the XO, all enlisted people that are actually doing the work. I mean, you managing that, and you're also teaching the ones that are above you, because you are that conduit between the 4-star.
Sure.
The 4, for people don't understand. The 4-star, you don't report to nobody in between, directly to the 4-star who's calling the shots.
Correct. What's important to me, JC, is when organizations are looking to elevate and accelerate what it is that they're doing, particularly when it comes down to driving down their attrition rates and increasing their top performers, then you want someone who has led at the highest levels, sure, but has also been that right-hand man, that person who was able to traverse, you know, from the highest levels to the most junior levels, and then communicate the ways to do it better. And that was my responsibility, you know, with, you know, numerous admirals, numerous captains on ships. My responsibility was to ensure that they understood the culture climate of the command so that we could operate at the highest levels.
The only way you can operate at the highest level, and as you keep saying this, is a crew morale. It's the crew. It's not us in senior leadership.
Right.
I mean, it's the crew.
Yes, sir.
That they, as long as they are happy in some fashion or another, they're gonna give you all they got.
Yes, sir.
So, got about 3 minutes left in the show. What would you tell leaders out there that know that they need your help, but are too afraid to ask for it?
Sure.
Can you tell them or give them some advice, and then tell them how they can get in touch with you?
Sure. So first and foremost, when it comes down to those of you who have folks in your workplaces, and or where maybe it's at your school or the medical facilities you work at, you know that they're not operating at their highest levels, my encouragement to you is increase your humility and reach out. Whether it be through my website, through LinkedIn, which is where I do a lot of communicating and writing, also medium.com. For those who might be on social media, I'm there as well at Raymond D. Kemp, and all these things will be in the show notes. I would encourage you to reach out, because if the only thing between your organization getting better and maintaining the same status quo is your willingness to reach out to me, don't let that be the end of it all. Please, oh please, reach out. I encourage you to do that. And before we get too far into the show, one thing I'd just like to remind you is that there's 10 two-letter words that you can use and repeat them to yourself. I've been saying it for years. 10 two-letter words that'll make you a better leader immediately. And those 10 words are, if you live them out, those 10 words are, if it is to be, it is up to me. Those in senior leadership positions, it's up to you to reach out to me. Those of you who are in the middle, those frontline leaders, it's up to you. You can reach out as well. We've got several programs that will help everyone within your organization. And another thing you can do is you can grab a hold of this book that I'm going to present to Dr. Cooley here, Building Resilience for Hybrid Success. I know this is going to fit into your tool bag because there's some information there that you have seen before. And I would encourage those folks who are looking to get right to grab hold of it.
Somebody just said, humility. You have to show a little bit of it. Regardless. Okay, we got about 45 seconds. Is what conversations are leaders not having enough with their best performer?
Yeah, I've said it a couple of times and I'll say it again because it's still right. They're not having the conversations enough with their best performers as to what reason it is that they're staying. Because when you know what your top performers are doing, you know what is driving them, then you can take that information and spread it throughout the rest of your organization. And in business, and I've been working with businesses and corporations for the last 7 years, outside of the world's finest Navy. And so what I know is that it's happening there as well. Lean into the humility, lean into asking, what's working for those high performers, and then you can keep them.
Wow. Fleet. Ray, I want to thank you.
Absolutely.
So much.
Yes, sir.
For taking the time to come on the show. I meant what I said about you coming back on.
Okay. And I meant what I said. I'm coming. You call me, I'm coming.
I meant what I said. I'd like to thank Dr. Michelle Cooley for putting together another absolutely fantastic show. Show your face, Michelle, for putting together another absolutely fantastic show. I'd like to thank you listeners that tune in to my show Monday to Friday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, 4 Central Standard Time, 5 Eastern Standard Time, live on all platforms. Also on the radio every Sunday, H5 Dallas at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. EQ AM 1170 Answer, FM 96.1 The Answer out of San Diego. K-Sky is AM 660 The Answer out of Dallas. Nice. Yeah, they always tune in. That's every Sunday. And so, but most importantly, as I always tell you, dream big, think big, and be big at everything that you do. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. Can we say it together? Your life.
I've been waiting to do that.
Doctor.